didn't mean to leave the dream open. I didn't even know it was possible until I woke up with dust in my mouth and the sound of waves echoing in my ears, though I live nowhere near the coast. It started a month ago. I had moved into a sublet apartment above an old taxidermy shop on the far end of Waverley Street. The place was cheap, too cheap, considering it was New Harbour, where even rat-infested closets go for a fortune. But I didn't ask questions. I needed space, solitude, a place to put my head down and finish the manuscript I'd been struggling with for almost 2 years. The landlord was a tight-lipped man named Emery, with sunken eyes and a mouth that never quite smiled. When he handed me the keys, he said something odd. "Don't leave your dreams open too long," he warned. I laughed, assuming it was a joke. He didn't. That first night, I slept like a corpse, the first full rest I'd had in weeks. But the dream I had, it lingered. Not in the usual way dreams do, where you remember scraps and feelings. No, this was vivid, clear, like a place I'd actually visited. It was a house, not mine, vast, with walls that leaned too close and corridors that pulsed when I walked through them. There was a skylight that showed only static, a fireplace that whispered, and doors, so many doors. Most were locked, but one was ajar. I walked through it, and that's when it began. I woke with a start, heart hammering, throat dry. The morning light slanted through the blinds in thin, golden bars. Something about the silence of the room struck me wrong, like sound had been scrubbed out. It was oppressive, thick, and then I heard it, a crunch beneath my pillow. I reached under and pulled out a handful of dust, fine, grey, and bone dry. It smelled faintly metallic, like old blood and broken coins. I cleaned it up, tried to forget about it. Dreams leave residue sometimes, right? That's what I told myself. But the next night, I returned to the same house. Only this time, the door wasn't ajar. It was wide open. I've never been a lucid dreamer, but something about this place, it felt wrong to call it a dream. The air was thick, and I could smell things. Salt, rot, ozone. When I stepped inside, the world behind me disappeared. Not faded, vanished. I stood in a hallway made of warped wooden slats that groaned beneath my feet. The wallpaper had moving, patterns, unintelligible symbols that writhed when I stared too long. And at the far end of the hall, where light should have been, there was only a presence. A watcher, not visible, just known. Something vast and awake and hungry. I felt it pushing against the edges of my mind, like it was testing the strength of my sanity. I ran. The house went on forever. The layout shifted behind me. Doors melted into walls, and ceilings rippled like water. But eventually, I found a room with a window. I looked out. There was nothing. Not darkness, not sky, just absence. Like the world had stopped rendering beyond the house. Like I had been plucked from reality and placed on a stage where only the set mattered. When I turned, someone was sitting in the corner of the room. A child, or at least something that wore the shape of one. It spoke without moving its lips. Its voice poured directly into my head. "You left it open," it said. I woke again with dust in my mouth and a nosebleed soaking into my pillow. My hands were trembling. My manuscript, which I'd left closed on the desk, was open, pages fluttering. Despite the window being shut, I decided not to sleep that night, but exhaustion has a way of worming in. You think you're awake, working, thinking, breathing, and then, all at once, you're not. You're there again, in the house, in that unreal gravity where space bends and perception betrays you. Only this time, it wasn't empty. There were others. They stood in the corners, half in shadow, watching me with faces that didn't quite hold together. Too many eyes, mouths that opened sideways, skin like wax melting under a slow heat. They whispered in tandem. She brought it back. He left the gate open. It's watching through the cracks. Do not wake where you dream. I don't remember screaming, but when I woke, my throat was raw and my fingernails had cracked from gripping the bed frame too tightly. The dust was everywhere now, in my clothes, my food, the corners of the room. I tried cleaning, but it just came back. I asked the landlord about it. He stared at me, grim. "You've been crossing," he said. "You don't close the dreams, you're bleeding through." What the hell does that mean? You'll see. I stopped going outside. Something had changed. The world looked wrong, like it had been subtly re-rendered. Trees twisted the wrong way. Birds didn't blink. Cars passed my window without making a sound. I tried to tell a friend, Lena. She's a therapist, rational, grounded. She came, by one evening after I begged her to. "You haven't slept in days," she said. "You're hallucinating." I wanted to believe that. God, I needed to believe it. But while she was talking, something appeared behind her. A door, right there, in the middle of the room. Just there. It opened inward, into a corridor I recognized. Lena didn't see it, but I did. And when I looked through, something looked back. It had no face, no form, just a shimmering wrongness that pulsed with intelligence. I felt my thoughts slipping away, one by one, like coins through a grate. I screamed. When I came to, Lena was gone, vanished. No signs of a struggle, her car still parked out front. Her phone on the table. Just gone. The days blend now. I don't know what's real anymore. I dream with my eyes open. I sleep with them shut. The house follows me, leaking into the corners of my vision. I'll blink and find myself in its endless halls again, always deeper, always further. The presence is closer now. It knows me. Sometimes I hear it speak through the vents. "You shouldn't have opened the door," it whispers. "You invited us. My apartment is changing. The walls have grown long, pulsing cracks that emit a soft, wet breathing sound. The mirror no longer reflects me. Instead, I see flashes of the dream house, the watchers, the faceless child, and something vast moving. Behind it all, tendrils of unreality, coiling around the structure of perception itself. I'm not the first. The child told me, "We come through the ones who remember." I asked it what that meant. It smiled, mouth splitting too wide. "You dreamed before, a long time ago. You found us. Now we remember you." I tried burning the apartment down. I soaked the walls, the floor, my mattress, my journals, everything in gasoline. I lit the match and dropped it. Nothing caught fire. The flame hovered like a video paused mid-frame. Then it vanished. "Can't burn a memory," a voice whispered from the drain. "You live inside it now. It's hard to say how much time has passed. My phone doesn't work. The sun doesn't move. The clocks all run backward. I think I've been writing this entry for days, weeks, maybe longer. I sleep now because there's nowhere else to go. Each time, I wake further inside the house. The rooms are vaster now, cathedral-like, built with impossible angles and vanishing staircases. The watchers no longer hide. They sing in frequencies that unravel thought. The walls hum with names I've never heard and somehow know. And the presence, it's nearly here. The dream is a funnel, a spiral, a throat, and I'm sliding deeper into its gullet. Soon, I'll reach the end, or the beginning. The child appears sometimes, cradling a shard of broken glass that shows me walking through endless doors. Always opening, never closing. You left the gate open too long, it says. Now it will dream you. If you're reading this, I beg you, do not dream here. Do not sleep in this room, or walk past the doorway in your mind that doesn't belong. It remembers you. All of it does. The dust? That's not from here. It's from there. From what's left after the house has chewed your mind to pulp and spat. the pieces into another life. I've met others. Ghosts, almost. Memories of people who dream too deeply. They whisper from the walls. I'm one of them now. I think I'm not writing this with my hands anymore. Just thoughts. Bleeding. Through. I left it open. I'm sorry. It's your turn to close it.